Merry Christmas. It's Stay F. Homekins Christmas edition. I'm Paul F. Tompkins.
He's a comedian.
She's Janie Haddad Tompkins.
I'm an actress.
That's right.
I never remember how we're supposed to do it.
There's few moving parts.
It's true.
We're a married couple. We're living in quarantine in Los Angeles, California. We have recording equipment, and we've been doing a podcast since March 2020.
Not just a podcast. One of the...
Honey.
I can't skate on it anymore. The top 10.
I don't think so.
We did it last week.
We did it last week.
Okay, fine. We're in the top 10.
We were in the top 10.
A week and a half ago.
We were in one top 10 list a week and a half ago. Anyway, here we are. It's Christmas
Merry
evening.
Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. This has been a weird day.
Yeah. First of all, we had to open the windows because it got too hot. 73 degrees or something.
And then, of course, we did not travel. It's just the two. We never spent a Christmas just the two of us by ourselves.
Who would do that?
Some people, that's their thing.
Yeah,
some people, that's their thing. Some people don't have a lot of family.
Yes.
Who knows? But
that's good.
But if it's not your regular thing, guess what? It's weird.
And it, you know what's particularly weird? Not just spending Christmas just the two of us, but that we've been home since March.
Yeah.
Because of the pandemic. And it's like Groundhog's Day around here.
Yeah.
The movie, not the holiday. I've never seen that movie.
I think people do it too.
I've never seen
You should see it. I think you would like it.
I know what the concept is. That's what I mean by it's like Groundhog's Day around here. And so it was kind of like, okay, how do we mark this occasion? How do we make it feel slightly different than another day? And, I don't know the answer to that. Do you?
No. And here's I would have told you if I did.
Before now, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't have been saving it until you brought it up. And then, actually, here's what I do. What's weird to me is that, we put up decorations in December 1st. December 1st. We got our tree. Well, we put up decorations the day after Thanksgiving.
And by we, you mean you.
Well,
it's
and
Paul's.
Then,
that falls under Paul's jurisdiction.
I love doing it. You're welcome to help, but you're not required to help.
Right, and so I don't.
But
sometimes I ask.
Yes, you do. Of course you do,
and you're
honey.
like,
Of course you do. I say, I got it. No, I don't say, I don't want it. Can I help? I don't want it. So we put up the decorations the day after Thanksgiving, got the tree December 1st. Everything leading up to Christmas felt more like Christmas than Christmas did.
Right, because we'd watch a Christmas movie or make a hot toddy or something.
Yeah.
And then Christmas came.
Today we woke up.
I didn't even get to Christmas shopping except for online shopping.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat, even though things are insane here in Los Angeles. Yeah.
But we opened presents, and then that was over. It doesn't take a lot of time with two people.
That's true.
Usually
we did try to draw it out.
We did try to draw it out. Usually we're with Janie's family, and so there's a bunch of people, and so you're saying, this one's for this person, this one's for this person. Now you open this, now that open that. And then with the two of us just like, okay, here, you go, and then I go. And then it was over. And then we kind of didn't know what to do with the day.
Oh, there's a lot of FaceTiming with my family. There was a lot of that. It was like 2 FaceTimes with my dad.
I was witness to a double FaceTime on the same day. And it's like, that's just, you can't do that. There's not the second FaceTime, there's nothing left to talk about. And we gotta, I don't know, folks, we gotta be conscious of budgeting these FaceTimes.
My dad told me what he had for dinner on Christmas Eve. So I heard that whole thing. And then my brother was like, I FaceTimed my brother and he was like, okay, we'll FaceTime with Dad later. And I'm like, okay. So then they set up the Zoom with my brother and my dad. And then then my dad told my brother what they had for dinner on Christmas Eve. So I heard it a second time. And then my brother was like, hang on, let me go get Laura, it's my sister-in-law. Let me go get Laura. She wanted to say hi. So then she comes and joins the Zoom. And then she said, oh, did you guys have anything fun for dinner last night? So then, like, I heard a third time what my dad and my stepmom had for dinner on New Year's Eve. I was literally like,
aren't you glad I didn't pop in at some point?
And ask but also because, like, I'm on the West Coast and all my family's on the East Coast. There's the 3-hour time difference. And, like, by the time my brother was, like, okay to do this Zoom with my dad and stepmom and stuff, like, I wanted to take, like, an afternoon nap, and I couldn't because I had to, like, be around for the telling of what he had for dinner on Christmas Eve 2 more times.
Which is now a tradition.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay. And then, yeah.
There'll be tales of past glories, what Dad had for dinner.
Then had to FaceTime with my mom where she lives. And then hear all about, and then it was just like a whole thing. There was just like a lot.
By the way, and this is I'm not trying to, denigrate anyone in Janie's family, but I feel like the topic of what you had for dinner last night, unless you ate an ostrich, like, and the call 1 minute early.
Listen,
save that topic until you feel like you've absolutely run out of things to talk about. And you're like, I get in my backpack and I got what I ate for dinner last night.
What is so crazy is that
that's when you know it's time to hang
I'm
out.
part of this family that I'm very, like, different from. Like, there's, like, not a lot of common ground. Mm-hmm. So it's like there's few topics. Like, am I going to weigh in on football? No, I'm not.
Yeah.
If am I going to bring up politics so that my brother's blood pressure, like, his vein pops out of his head? No, I can't. Like, he'll, like, end the call. Like,
he's not a conservative, by the way. Just so people know.
No.
It's not like the way they're ripping off Trump makes my blood boil.
No, but, like, he can't talk.
He can't handle it.
He can't talk about
it makes him very angry.
It's the cacistocracy, right? It's like, you can't talk about the cacistocracy.
The cacistocracy?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means, like, the dumbest people get elected. Like,
How is it spelled? I've never heard this before.
Kakist. Cacistocracy. OCRAC. Cacistocracy.
Very good. I'm assuming.
I'm actually a pretty decent speller if you want to throw me another curveball. Just for fun.
I used to be a really good speller. I don't think I am anymore.
I'm a pretty good speller.
I was always good at that, and I think I lost it somewhere along the way. I don't know. I what was I going to say? Did you ever... You don't remember? Did I ever tell you about this when I interviewed the spelling bee champion for Spontaneous Nation?
No, I don't think so.
I had this podcast called Spontaneous Nation, and it was an improv podcast, but I would interview someone at the beginning. And at one point, I was offered the champion of the script spelling bee. So I knew it was going to be like a little kid, like a smart little kid. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And this kid... His name was Karthik, and he was so monosyllabic. It was hilarious. He was very, very cute.
Yeah.
But he just was not a talker.
Right.
And it was the most challenging interview I've ever done in my life.
Oh my God.
But it was killing me how hard it was to draw him out. Yeah. It was so funny. I think so. You can still listen to that episode, Spontaneous Nation.
Oh, well, there you go. Guys, check out Paul and Spontaneous Nation.
If it's not behind the paywall, it might all be behind the paywall.
Who knows? Who knows, guys? Also, so what did everyone else do for Christmas?
What did you all have for dinner last night? So today we were both a little out of sorts today.
We were not nice to each other all day.
No, we were a little snappy.
Which I didn't like.
Oh, I loved it.
You did. You like that?
That's funny.
You like that?
Really liked it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I think just because we were both feeling like
it was like emotionally layered.
Yeah.
It was like, okay.
But now we're friends again.
We did do a Zoom watch with our friend on Christmas Eve.
That's true. The night before, with our friend Phil, we watched this one-man show of A Christmas Carol, which was very artfully done. Like the staging was...
Technically.
Yeah.
Technically?
No.
I did.
Technically.
I've had half of a weekend water, y'all. But come on, that's not an excuse. Technically, yes. Advanced.
A triumph.
It was.
Like the lighting and the staging and the effects that they had in it were really impressive.
So Jefferson Mays plays all the characters.
Yes, except for the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come.
Can we talk about the credits?
Yeah.
Okay, you can talk about that in a minute. Wait, but at the beginning when I was like, oh, he put a hat on or something.
What?
At the beginning, the thing started.
Yeah.
And by the way, this thing cost it was expensive. Like we were buying a ticket for the Geffen Theater, and it was to donate.
Because that's where it was filmed, right?
I would
filmed
assume
at the Geffen?
so.
Yeah.
I would assume it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I wonder who's playing Bob Cratchit or something.
Oh, wait, now I remember.
I was like, oh, he put a hat on or whatever. And then you go.
Somehow, Janie had missed that this was a one-person show. I don't know how. I feel like that is always in bold.
I just was like, when I saw it was Jefferson Mays in A Christmas Carol, I just assumed he was Scrooge.
Right.
I just was like, oh, he's going to play Scrooge or whatever. I didn't know he was going to play everything.
Right. And he comes out and he starts narrating.
Well, fine. Okay, fine. But I mean, okay, fine. You can be narrator and Scrooge.
That's interesting.
You can be narrator and Scrooge.
Is this what your production will be?
No, I told you what I decided I'm going to do.
What is it again?
I have a year to write it before Christmas 2021. Now I'm going to say on the podcast, and someone out there is going to steal my idea.
They can't because it's recorded.
Oh, yeah. I'll sue the pants off of anyone who beats me to this. That I'm going to write a tour de force for Glenn Close as a fashion diva a la Devil Wears Prada.
Right.
And she's going to play the Scrooge.
Yeah. So this will be your take on a gender-shifted Christmas Carol.
Yes. And then you said, haven't you heard of
Diva's Christmas Carol with Vanessa Williams as Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about it's going to be Dickensian and modern at the same. It's going to be it's not going to be like a Lifetime.
Will it be like a modern dress Shakespeare where it's the same text but you wear modern clothes?
I haven't decided. I'm going to get in. I'm going to get into it soon
because then it's hard to communicate that she's a fashion person.
I only have 364 days right now to think about it. Maybe a little less because I wanted to rehearse.
If only you'd come up with this last year because 2020 was a leap year. You would have an extra day to work on it.
Anyway, when you said it's a one-man show, you were like, duh. And I was like, shit. Really?
I had no idea you didn't know. You bought the ticket.
I bought the ticket. I'm the one that bought the ticket. The streaming ticket. And I'm so mad because I bought a streaming ticket to Daniel Kitson, one of Daniel Kitson's show, because I'd watched one earlier in the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And the day came and went, and I forgot about it. And I couldn't even find my receipt. Maybe I didn't buy it. Anyway, he was doing this tour of empty theaters in England, and he's a total weirdo, and I kind of I like his vibe.
You got to see him live, right? When you were in
Edinburgh? Yeah, I know. I'm still skating on that one time I did the Edinburgh Festival in 2017.
Well, you were there a month. I mean, a lot happened.
Listen, a lot. Oh my, yes.
You saw a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah. It's not like you spent a week in London and you have an English accent now.
Right. I mean, here's the thing. I saw a lot of things. I saw a lot of things. Like, I saw a range of things.
It's getting dark.
From, like, certain one-person shows to crazy, amazing...
I saw a dog eat a man's foot.
That'd probably sell out. In Edinburgh. You know what I mean? My point is, I like Daniel Kitson.
How big of a venue would that be?
I like Daniel Kitson, but I also love that I also got to see in Edinburgh was
Jason Byrne.
Jason Byrne.
Yes.
You
first saw him in Melbourne, right? When I was there for the festival.
Yeah. I'm a fan. Listen, here's the thing about his comedy. It's like so crazy, wild, and energetic.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I hate audience participation stuff. Like, I don't want to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. But when I see him like doing it, it's crazy entertaining. Like, yeah. I don't know what it is.
I think hilarious. It's impossible not to like him. He's a really fun and funny person, and the stuff that he does with audience participation is like it could just as easily go wrong as go right, and it's funny either way.
But the reason I like his audience participation thing is it doesn't matter who gets on the stage.
Exactly.
But he gets mad at them.
Yes, he gets frustrated.
He gets yeah, you're not doing it right. You're not and so the comedy becomes more about him than the person.
Absolutely, yes.
And I think that's what is the key to why it's entertaining to watch and not painful.
Yeah, and everyone knows it's not. He's not trying to humiliate the person. You know what I mean?
No, he's doing it so his own shtick can come through. Yeah. And something about that is skillful to me.
Absolutely,
like as a comedian,
it's for sure a skill to be able to do that well and not have it come off as bullying. Is
because he does like berate people.
Yeah, but it's really funny. He doesn't make fun of them though. You know what I mean? It's all about all about him trying to get them to do the thing that he wants to do.
He'll
but it's
say
not
a mild thing,
like "Hey, you fat bastard."
He'll say like a mild thing, like did your pants get cut off at the bottom? Or
right.
Like something. But it's like the most mild ribbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like roasting.
No, it's great. He's really funny.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of him on YouTube. Jason Byrne, Byrne.
It's not Burns?
No.
It's just Jason Byrne?
Yeah.
Huh. You're right. He's Irish. Anyway, so Daniel Kitson. No, because there was a new Daniel Kitson show because I got an email about it, a Christmas one. So maybe I'll click on it and see if I can get a Zoom ticket.
Please tell me it was called Kitsmas.
I hope so. It might have just been an update. He sends I'm on his mailing list, Anyway, so I didn't know it was a one-man show. And then Paul's like, it's a one-man show.
I didn't say it like that. Honey, we spent all this time building our goodwill back up, and now you're destroying it all on the podcast.
And then I was like, huh. Okay.
That was quite a moment.
And Paul like lost his shit. And
I laughed so hard.
Like zooming with our friend Phil, but we were whispering so we didn't interrupt his.
Well, because we had turned our sound down.
Oh,
so
that's right. We muted.
Once
we
all
synced
muted
up
our sound.
We synced up the watch and then we muted our sound. And I was like, okay. And then they did fancy stuff with the lights, and I was like, all right, I get it.
Yeah. And I forgot.
I'm on board.
I forgot who Jefferson Mays was because, of course, I'd seen him in things. When I was looking at him in the show, I was like, "Oh yeah, he's a British guy. I've seen him in stuff."
Yeah.
Guess what? He's not.
He's American, and like, because I was like, well, his accent was great.
And he's doing several accents.
Was doing different
several
accents.
Regional accents.
Well, I had first seen Jefferson Mays in I Am the Night, the miniseries directed by the great Patty Jenkins.
And he's playing the wickedly evil Dr. James Hodel.
George.
Also goes by George. Isn't it great that I messed up the name when I was
George,
making fun of John Travolta? The wickedly psychotic.
So I was like, so she did this miniseries, I Am the Night, which is like this noir. This is perfectly fitting. I'm talking about Patty Jenkins because I guess her new Wonder Woman movie is out tonight on streaming. Mm-hmm. The Wonder Woman 1984.
That's right. WW84.
So I watched this miniseries, like this noir miniseries that kind of like explores the Black Dahlia murder. But kind of like through some peripheral characters that real people or whatever. And so she does this noir miniseries that's creepy as hell. And it's like totally shot on like, I don't know, real film. You know, she's very, cinematic or whatever. And it stars like Chris Pine and then Jefferson Mays played. Am I getting this wrong? He did play that part, right?
Yeah,
that was
absolutely.
He's just so like different in everything he does. But like he played Dr. George Hodel, and I was like, who is this guy? Like I was so creeped out because first of all, that person as a figure in history is a creepy person because a lot of people believe he was the murderer of the Black Dahlia murder. Elizabeth. What was her name?
Oh God!
Her name wasn't
Elizabeth
Short.
Yeah.
So they called it the Black Dahlia murder because she wore like a flower in her hair. But her name was Elizabeth Short.
Wait, is it now? I'm doubting that.
No, that's it.
It is, right?
Yeah, that's her name. And it was like this very famous like cold case, unsolved mystery. And essentially, like the son of Dr. Hodel, this like very evil man. I mean, he is like undoubtedly evil, even if he wasn't the murderer. He was still evil.
Yeah,
like he did a lot of bad shit, and his son became a homicide detective. So I watched I Am the Night, and I guess the son came out with a book like 20 years ago.
Was that Black Dahlia Avenger? Was that the name of that book?
I don't think I read the book.
I think I did read the book.
And it was a big deal when it came out, like 20 years.
I remember having a hard time when I read the book, thinking, I don't know, it was so strange to me.
That the son,
he's like, hey,
my
you know
dad.
what? I figured out who the Black Dahlia murderer is. It's my fucking dad.
It's my dad.
Yeah.
So this guy was a LAPD homicide detective, and he was like, yeah, it had to have been my dad. Like he like hung out with Man Ray. He was also evil, and that was like one of the clues. One of the clues was that he was evil. He did. He like raped his daughter. He raped his daughter. Oh, like he did. Like, what's so crazy about it? So if you watch, I actually recommend I Am the Night because
I do too.
Well, because like Patty Jenkins is an amazing director and everything, but like there's a companion podcast that goes along with the series called Root of Evil or Root of Evil or Root of All Evil or something like that.
Sum of all fears.
Something. And the companion podcasts are the family members of everyone sort of like depicted in the thing. And the son, the retired homicide detective who put together all these clues, like his dad being evil, is on the podcast. And he's like the one that is like, this is how, this happened. You can look at this Man Ray photograph. You can look at this Man Ray picture, and then you can look at the picture of the murder, and it's like the same thing or whatever. And then you're like, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. And then like you learn about like, I don't know what the name of that art was. The Man Ray stuff. Dadaism or something. Mm-hmm. What was it?
Wasn't he a photographer?
Deco, yeah. But what was that art movement called?
I don't know of what type
of Man Ray.
I don't know,
because here's the thing. This is another one of the clues. Is that like that? Whatever that art. So there's like art majors out there listening to this right now that are like throwing their speakers across the room.
Well, don't. I tell you what, because we're going to take a break in a few minutes, and then we'll look it up.
We'll look it up.
You don't have to tweet us.
They were like the somethings, the right. Dadaists or the Decoists or the. I'm getting it so wrong. It's like they were like the somethingists, the whatever.
Okay.
Ists. And their whole thing was like they hated women.
Right.
Like that was like the thing. That was a whole thing. And so like Man Ray would like take pictures of women's body parts like disembodied looking, because it was like we are just appliances to them or whatever, And so like so the son's whole theory, I'm not spoiling anything because this book has been out for like 20 years or whatever, is that he was like, he was such a like malignant narcissist that he had to kind of like, he couldn't take a photograph. He had to like create like the whatever art with like a dead body. And the crime scene was staged in such a way that it was like one of Man Ray's pictures.
Right.
Or something.
Right.
Okay. There's even more evidence, something about a cement bag and like serial numbers. Like there's a whole thing.
Did you know every cement bag has a serial number? So if you steal a cement bag, they'll track you down.
What is so kooky and weird though is when I was listening to the companion podcast and the retired homicide detective who is the son of the wickedly evil Dr. George Hiddell. Like, I guess he was instrumental in catching this rapist in like the 80s or something on the street where I used to live on Beechwood.
Wow.
I used to live on this street called Beechwood in Hollywood. Paul lived there too, across the street, long story, blah, blah, blah. But, and like, it's like a pretty well-known street in Hollywood because it kind of leads up straight to the Hollywood.
Beechwood Canyon.
To Beechwood Canyon.
Yeah,
like, and a lot of like struggling actors end up living on Beechwood, like especially Lower Beechwood where I lived. And like, he starts like describing the terror of this, rapist that was like, I don't know, like maybe like they called him like the Beechwood rapist or something. And he would like take like a pair of women's underwear or like it was crazy scary. And it kind of like gave me really sick cold chills to think like I used to walk at night all the time on Beechwood because it was like right around the corner from where I used to work and stuff like that. But like I had no idea about that, story, about that crime story.
I bet I told you this when we first started dating, but my old apartment on Cherokee, directly across the street was the last known residence of Elizabeth Short, the Black Dahlia.
No, you did tell me that a long time ago, though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's creepy.
We're barely one step ahead of these murderers. All right, we got to take a break.
All right, we're going to look up what kind of art Man Ray does.
Yes, and now a word from our sponsors.
Well, here we are. It's Christmas. Merry Christmas 2020. Why not buy yourself a present? How about some Usual Wines? Usual Wines are wines for the modern drinker. They come in these individual bottles that are 6.3 ounces, and they're very sleek and modern and designer conscious. The wines are low carb and have 0 grams of sugar. Usual has a red blend, rosé, a sparkling white wine called Brut. Usual wines are made from world-class AVAs, which are American viticultural areas in California like Napa, Sonoma, and Santa Barbara. They're made with minimal intervention, 0 sugar, and 0 additives. I know what you're thinking. Grapes have sugar. Okay, fine. To clarify, all Usual wines are produced using natural, sustainable grapes harvested every fall. So please go check out their website at www.usualwines.com and use the code stayfhomekins for $8 off your first order and try your first glass on us. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Maybe you like to think about your childhood on Christmas. I like to think about some parts of my childhood. For example, eating cereal from a box with milk. You know, like parking yourself in front of the TV and just like shoveling it down your face. Well, I still like to do this. However, I don't need carbs. I don't need sugar. I don't need unhealthy food. So that's why I turned to Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon is a fun cereal that has 0 sugar, 11 grams of protein, and only 3 net grams of carbs in each serving. It comes in cocoa, fruity, frosted, and blueberry. It tastes amazing, honestly. Too good to be true. It's keto friendly. I don't like keto unfriendly, you know? I like people who are friendly, and I like ketos that are friendly. Gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and GMO-free. Personally, I like frosted. Just keep it simple, you know what I'm saying? So go to magicspoon.com/homekins to grab a variety pack and try it today. And be sure to use our promo code HOMEKINS to get free shipping at magicspoon.com. Merry Christmas.
Thank you to Care of for sponsoring this week's episode of Stay of Homekins. What is Care of? I'm glad you asked. It is a wellness brand that makes it easy to maintain your health goals with a customized vitamin plan that helps you feel your best today and supports you long term. All of Care of's products are formulated with good-for-you, clean ingredients that are backed by our favorite, science. Care of's in-depth 5-minute online quiz asks you questions about your diet, lifestyle, and health concerns to help address your specific wellness goals. Now, look, there may be fewer holiday parties this year, but the season is still just as hectic. Help manage the holiday stress in a healthy way by adding Care of supplements to your routine. And we've got a special offer for you. For 50% off your first Care of order, go to takecareof.com and enter code HOMEKINS50, HOMEKINS 50. That is 50% off your first Care of order. You just go to takecareof.com and enter code HOMEKINS50. That's code HOMEKINS50 for 50% off your first order. Man, Ray, guess what this motherfucker was into? Oh, he loved art. He was he was a significant contributor to the Dada and Surrealist movements.
So Dadaists.
This guy was into Dada, abstract art, surrealism, cubism, modern art. He dabbled in all kinds of mediums, but he considered himself primarily a painter.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I guess I got it right that he was a Dadaist.
Honey, good guess, because you absolutely got it right.
But the patriarchy has convinced me that I'm stupid. So I doubt everything I say. So that's fun. It's a fun thing.
It's fun.
It's a fun thing to live with.
Isn't that funny?
I think it's fun. I think it's fun to live your life constantly doubting yourself. I think it's fun to live your life thinking you're not as good as any of your colleagues or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's really fun. It gives you a lightness. I don't know.
You just feel like you're floating through life?
You just feel like you're floating, it's. What about you? What kind of fun neuroses do you have?
Oh, my God. Everyone, come on. I'm on the record with all my neuroses.
Are you? All of them? Yeah, I guess. Comedy.
I mean, all the good ones.
All the the greatest hits.
The greatest neurotic hits. Can I tell everyone about one of the Christmas gifts that you got me?
Yes, but you can. But I also have to just remember one thing, that we were going to talk about the credits of Christmas Carol and we forgot.
Thank you. Let's talk about
really
that
quick.
right now.
And then you can talk about one of the Christmas gifts that I got you.
So this is a one-man show.
Oh, yeah.
And at the end, God blesses everyone. The credits start rolling. And first, it's a lot of the technical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's, of course, it's the director and the producers and the adaptors. And does Charles Dickens get his own separate card for written by? Yes, he does. And then we see one that says cast. And then
it's like a one-man show.
It's just his name over and over again.
75 times.
There's all these different characters till it gets to the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, the Spectre, which was,
there was like probably
some other guy.
Puppeteer who did it. Or something.
Yeah. And it was very artfully done. But first of all, it seemed crazy that they would go to that trouble. There must have been another way to handle it. To say, this guy did everything right in front of your face except this one thing, which he clearly didn't. And here's who did that.
It was like almost like you took a picture of it, right?
I didn't get a picture of that other name.
But you took a picture of Jefferson Mays 500 times?
Yes.
Okay, because we can put it on our Instagram or whatever. But like, it was a little like, Eddie Murphy is.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy is.
Yeah. It was
Eddie Murphy. You remember that?
Yes, the clubs, honey. Because the commercial would be Eddie Murphy and Eddie Murphy, which they stole from the Parent Trap with Haley Mills. I think, as far as I know, that was the first to do that. Was back in the 60s, I guess, whenever Parent Trap came out.
That's cute, though.
Starring Haley Mills and Haley Mills. Get it? You idiots.
But that was different in a crazy way, and so is the Eddie Murphy thing, because Jefferson Mays, like, he played like 55 different people.
Here's the thing.
It was like so many different.
Why did he play? I guess because there's no that character has no dialogue.
The Spectre?
The Spectre. The Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come never says anything.
Okay.
He just gestures. That's all he does. And so how, I'm sure they must have tried to figure out, well, how does he play this and narrate at the same time? But here's the thing.
No, because I think they must have, the guy was like, I think he must have been a puppeteer or something, because it was like this giant, like amorphous.
I know that it was. That's not what I'm saying. Did you think I thought he was secretly playing it somehow?
I don't know. I've lost the thread of all of this.
You really have.
It's confusing.
Here's what I'm saying is, did they think there's no way to pull this off and have it be effective if he plays this part as well?
The Spectre.
Yes.
He has to react to the Spectre, so how could he play the puppet of the Spectre and...
Because he doesn't do a puppet is what I'm saying. He didn't do a puppet for any of the other ones. I'm not saying he operate the puppet. I'm saying don't have a puppet.
But they wanted a giant puppet.
But honey, you think like they... Before, like, first order of business for this adaptation was, all right, now we're all agreed we want a giant puppet.
Yes.
Let's work around that.
I kind of do.
I don't think so.
And then he's like, and then when we get to Ghost of Christmas Future, a giant puppet comes out.
Right.
That's what I think he's pitching to the theater.
That's what he's pitching.
The director.
Like, because otherwise they won't go for it. It's like Ed Wood or something. What about, we can put a puppet in there? People like puppets.
He might like puppets. We don't know.
He might like puppets. Here's what I'm trying to say.
He's like, my brother's a puppeteer, guys. He always wants me to stick him in something.
Oh, I don't like that. Now, too much nepotism in Hollywood, and now it's infected the theater. What I'm saying is, I think that there must have been a discussion about him playing, just like he was playing all the other characters, him also playing that character. And for me, it's my one quibble with the play.
Because it wasn't officially a one-man show.
Yes, it deviates from that. And he's still narrating and being Scrooge at the same time.
I know. He's like reacting to the giant puppet.
And he does a great job. When he's the ghost, all the other ghosts, he's terrific. He does Marley. He does Ghost of Christmas Past.
I know what happened.
What happened? Tell me.
I know exactly what happened.
You're not going to repeat your theory that somebody had a puppet lying around and pitched a play.
I got it.
To pay for it?
No, I know because I've done a lot of theater. So I know.
Okay.
So they're like, so we're going to get a giant animatronic puppet. Mm-hmm. The idea is the puppet was supposed to operate on its own. Like that someone in a booth would push a button to operate the puppet. They get to tech rehearsal. The fucking puppet, like it's unwieldy. It's unwieldy, like the design,
right,
or whatever. And then the guy who made the puppet is like, "I'll do it. I'll just do it."
Yeah. So you're saying,
just fucking do
like,
it.
this puppet was supposed to be programmable, so they just set it and forget it.
Yeah.
And then on the night, they just push a button and it does all its pointing and shit.
And then it's like slow and it's behind. It doesn't, it's whatever. Because it's like a giant,
nightmare dress rehearsal.
Giant thing. Oh, the tech, like people were losing their minds.
Well, the tech, they promise it's going to be okay by dress. And then the dress comes.
The dress comes. And the guy's like, I fucking know.
I thought
made
you said this puppet was going to be.
I made this puppet. And then equity rules. Because he's on the stage during the thing, they had to like throw him the bone. And then they said, you know what, Jefferson, in the credits, we won't just put your name once. We'll put it 57 times.
Yeah.
And then when, Bob's name comes up, no one will notice. They just won't notice.
Here's what they should have done. I'm gonna do a couple should have dones. Okay. They should have had him play the ghost. That's number one.
Wait, Jefferson Mays.
Jefferson Mays should have played the ghost like he played everything else on the thing.
Okay.
And if failing that, they should have put the Spectre's name first, like in the credits.
Cast in order of
one
appearance.
Card.
It was in order of.
I know it was in. You're telling me what they did.
Yeah,
I'm telling you what they should have done.
Yeah, they should have. They broke up the effect of the Jefferson.
Yeah. Here's what they should have done. And let me get through this.
Okay.
One card. The Spectre. The guy's name. Mm-hmm. Next card is Jefferson Mays. Everybody else.
So Jefferson Mays' name is still only up once.
It's only up once, but you don't have to do that thing of
yeah. I see what you're saying.
Because here's
the thing.
It's
better.
Like
it's better.
At first, it was kind of cute, and then it's like it keeps going. It keeps going, and it's like, no, I got it. I got that he played all those parts.
Also,
now,
we just stared at him for 2 hours.
The pre-programming,
literally,
the pre-programming of the puppet reminds me of a toy that I was very excited for on Christmas one year. This was a toy called Big Track. Uh-huh. Big Track was like a futuristic looking tank kind of thing.
Okay.
And what you could do with it was, according to the commercial, you could program it to like go off on its own and do stuff.
Okay. Fine.
And it was basically like you had to order it to go ahead, like you put in the number 10, so it would go like a certain distance.
Okay.
But then not knowing what number corresponds to what distance. Because in the commercial, the kid is like, there's a keypad on the top, and the kid presses the keypad. Uh-huh. And then this thing, like, it takes off, and it makes cool noises. It goes towards the stairs, and then it looks like it recognizes that it's stairs, and so it's not going to go down the stairs.
Like a Roomba or something.
Yes. And then it like goes a little further, and it sees the family cat under the Christmas tree, and it turns and it fires a laser, which is just like a blinking light with a noise, a cool laser noise.
Okay.
And I'm like, I got to get this fucking
Because it looks
big
like
track.
AI. It's like, you think it's like AI, and this is like, what, like 1970 or something?
You think you're going to, hey. not that old. 1970. So you think you're going to punch some numbers into this thing and it's going to do a whole routine that's going to entertain you for hours, right?
Yes.
But because you can't judge anything, like, I don't know how far it is from this chair to over
the
there, the other side of the room,
cat.
to the cat, so I can shoot the lasers at him. And it also took 1 billion batteries.
Of course it did.
1 billion D
And
batteries.
I guarantee you it didn't come with the batteries.
Oh, hell no.
Like nothing came with batteries when we were kids. Like that was a whole cottage industry. That
batteries were an eternal stocking stuffer when I was a kid.
They had to be. Well, if your parents thought to do it, mine never always.
I gotta say, they always did. They were always cognizant of when something needed a bunch of batteries. Yeah, they always knew. They always knew. But Big Track, I loved that thing, and I couldn't admit that it sucked.
Right.
When I got it.
That's like every toy as a child, though.
What about a yo-yo?
We loved yo-yos. We had yo-yos.
I went through a yo-yo phase.
Yeah, we did it. We had like a yo-yo phase.
I could never do any tricks.
My brother could.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so were you going to talk about a gift I gave you?
I got a gift from my wife.
I'm curious which gift you are hand-picking to
She got me
share.
A special ice cream scoop.
Okay, can I explain? Because I also... Okay, so our very special podcast friends... Ask Rana, who right. I'm sure that you've heard us mention on our show before. We love Ask Rana. We're huge fans.
Yes, we listen every week.
Done like an ad swap with those guys.
We've been on their show.
We know the hosts. So they did a whole episode that was their gift giving guide. Mm-hmm. And we're listening to it, and they started talking about this special ice cream scoop that they were like raving about. I mean, they were like, it's so amazing. Like, there's apparently there's this technology in this ice cream scoop where when you touch the handle, there's some kind of like chemical inside the scoop that instantly heats the metal from the heat and warmth of your hand. And so then it makes scooping ice cream like butter.
Like a hot knife through butter.
Like butter. Not dishwasher safe. So I had to think that one through. I was like, do I want another not dishwasher safe thing in my life? Because already there's like a little too much.
We have a few non-dishwasher items, and let me tell you something.
They drive me fucking crazy.
It feels like Little House on the goddamn prairie in here.
Well, I'm sure like this is like a dishwasher thing. If you have a dishwasher, you become really lazy.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm trying to think like, I think the first place we lived together have a dishwasher?
Oh, yeah. That place? That place where the guy maybe had
the weirdo? Yeah.
Had him murdered.
Did it have a dishwasher that didn't work? Because that would have been on par for that place.
I don't think there was a dishwasher there.
I don't think so either.
The kitchen was tiny.
I don't think till we lived in New York did I live with a dishwasher. Although my parents got one.
Y'all had that. When I came to your house for the first time in my life in Philly, y'all had that like portable dishwasher that wheeled out that you put into the faucet.
Yeah.
And you know, Ben and Julie used to have one of those at that apartment when they lived on West Hollywood.
But I think they got that after I was out of the house.
Which I don't totally understand how that works. Like you hook it up to your sink and then you have to turn the sink on?
Yeah.
So like it's running the whole time. How does it know how to turn the sink off for you?
It doesn't. You have to turn the sink off or it will spray water on you because that has happened to me.
Anyway, yeah. So if you have a dishwasher and then you start acquiring non-dishwasher safe items, it's a real pain in the ass.
It's a real pieta.
It's a pain in the...
one of you will be holding the other one in a very dramatic pose. But yeah, I got
you that scoop. Yes. I was excited about it.
I'm excited about it too. I can't wait to try it. But I won't have any ice cream until after the holidays because nobody's delivering. I
have some ice cream in there. You can have some.
Oh, honey, that's your ice cream.
You can have a little scoop.
Oh, honey. You said it on the podcast.
Here's the thing. Paul and I we kind of have a lot of separate things. It's like part of our marriage.
And you have no right to ask us how we feel.
We don't use the same towels. We don't mix don't mix our laundry.
That's true. This is the thing.
We have separate mugs. We don't share mugs. Like he has his mugs. I have my mug.
We will in a pinch, but we have two in our cabinet. We have 2 tiers of mugs.
Your mug, yeah.
I'm on the top tier. You're on the bottom tier. And that's how you know whose mugs.
It's very weird to like share with the world.
Is it? I feel
we have separate.
I feel like this makes sense. We have separate bedrooms. Separate bank accounts.
We do. Well, kind of. I mean, we kind of do.
Kind of, not entirely.
No, we do. I mean, we really kind of do. Here's the thing. We have separate soap in the shower.
Mm-hmm.
I have my soap. He has his soap. We don't share toothpaste. I use a totally different brand of toothpaste. This is what happens when you get married older.
Maybe, yeah.
Is like you're kind of like, this is how I do things,
right.
You know. I think when you're younger, like those boundaries kind of blur.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's also like when you're just starting out, maybe you don't have the money to have a lot of separate things, you know.
Well,
and so it's like we're just going to buy the most economic toothpaste at the biggest size.
Definitely,
you know?
that, but like, you know, we just never went there. Like we never like merged those.
Haven't we merged enough?
That's what I think.
Here's what I will say about the laundry thing, because we have friends.
We have separate laundry baskets. So like,
yes.
So, okay. So
but here's what I was going to say. We have friends who think it's wild that we do our laundry separately.
Now our towels and sheets we do.
Towels and sheets.
That's community.
They happen together. That's community, baby. But that's also, you're putting things in on one setting. And you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Set it.
Look, my clothes are very easy to maintain. Janie has various different things.
I don't like to dry my stuff too hot. It's like a thing. It wears out the elastic in my stuff. It's like I don't want.
Yeah.
Some stuff I don't put in the dryer. I pull it out. I don't want anyone touching it.
I wash everything scalding hot and I dry it for 2 hours.
But like
But yeah, it's like, you know, your own stuff. And it's like, well, it amounts to the same amount of laundry being done. Whether we're putting it in one basket or we're putting it in 2 baskets.
Yeah, because I don't do my laundry until I get an entire load of laundry to do.
Exactly.
Right?
And you know what? It's very freeing because you do your own, you don't have to worry about it when you're doing your own laundry. You know, you just put it in there. You know what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, it's not like we've ever run into a situation where we both needed to do it at the same time.
No. But if that happened, we would just combine it or whatever.
Exactly.
Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But anyway, my point is we have so that's why I have ice cream, because Paul has this weird diet ice cream he likes.
I like this enlightened ice cream.
I don't do diet any stuff. Like, I don't like fake sugar. I don't, no.
I do it, and I'm accustomed to it, and it's fine by me. I remember a friend of mine years ago when I was buying some light ice cream, and he said to me, why don't you just buy the regular ice cream but eat less of it?
Sure, that's what I do.
Yeah, well, that's not what I do, and that's the fucking problem. Like, it's not like I didn't think of that. Oh, wait. So don't eat as much of it. Oh, okay.
Who said that? Do you remember?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Well, anyway, my point is you're welcome to test your brand new ice cream scooper. I was so excited because they mentioned it. They like talked about it on that episode of the gift giving guide for so long. And
I know.
And I was like, what is this thing? And then I was so excited because Paul's actually really hard to shop for.
I am, and I know it sucks.
He kind of does.
I know. I'm sorry.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, I figure it out. I work it out.
You always work it out. You always get me nice things.
I work it out.
You always give me thoughtful things.
I want to.
You do, honey. I think you do a good job.
Well, thank you for saying it. Thank you for saying it. Yeah, so anyway, that was I was excited that when you looked at it and you were like, what is this? Like, it took you like a full minute to figure out what I had when you unwrapped it.
Until I saw the picture.
But then it said
there were some words. Yeah.
It reduced fatigue.
Wait, I got to get it. I got to read that.
Remember? And you were like laughing so hard. You were like, it reduced fatigue or whatever. Who makes it in case people are... It's called Zerol.
1012.
Zerol.
The original scoop. Zerol, Zeroll. The original scoop. It boasts perfect scoops. No more over portioning. I don't know how that's a problem with regular ice cream scoops.
You know what, though?
Oh, no, the ice cream was so cold. I gave myself too much of it.
You know what? You can over portion by just adding extra scoops, though.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Who's going to stop that?
Yeah.
Who's going to stop that?
That's not the fault of the ice cream
scoop. It's not the scoop. It's the user error.
Did my friend write this copy?
User error.
And then this is their final bullet point. Reduces operator fatigue.
That's the one. And you were like laughing because it was like, well, like we're not operating an ice cream shop here. I assume that's for like professional ice cream shops.
Do you think so?
It's got to be. Because why would it say reduces operator fatigue?
Do you think I'm going to get in trouble?
No.
I mean, this is official for...
It's so cool looking.
Are they first responders?
It's like the secret. Zerol's heat conductive fluid in the handle, it says. It's so neat.
I have heat conductive fluid in my veins. Isn't that funny?
Well, I'm holding the handle right now. Does it get hot? Like touch the scooper.
No, it doesn't feel hot.
So how does it work if I'm not?
I think you have to hold it in your hand for 10 minutes.
No, really?
No.
It feels cold.
It does feel cold.
How does this work?
Maybe
does it really work? They were like raving about it.
This is terrible. I hope we're not going to debunk
this. Heat conductive fluid in the handle for easier scooping. Rolls ice cream smoothly with less compression.
Maybe it's a certain way you hold it.
I don't know. I think it's gonna work.
I think
it's just gonna work, but like it doesn't like make it hot. It's just gonna work.
It's just gonna work. I think the idea is that the thing gets to the temperature of your hand, maybe.
But it's still cold on the tip, so it doesn't make sense to me.
It's a beauty, though. It's great to look at.
Maybe it has something to do with when it meets the ice cream.
The moment of impact.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The moment, that's what I'm saying.
When contact is initiated.
The moment of impact.
Initiated.
I really appreciate the way this ice cream scoop looks.
No, it looks great. It's very pleasing to the eye. And it's very pleasing to hold. It feels good in your hand.
I bet they lost their minds when they invented this. They were like, we're going to make a fucking killing. Do you think it was like a NASA?
You don't think
like
they went
NASA?
Like they went mad? NASA?
You know how we have like certain things because of the government?
Of course.
Like GPS or the internet or whatever.
Yes.
Like it's all because of the government.
Because of the space program, yeah.
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 Or just like military or whatever.
Well, I think we got less great things out of the military. I could be wrong.
Or like, you know what I mean? Like whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
Innovation.
Yes.
Maybe this came from something.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
You know what I read? speaking of innovation, so the vaccines for coronavirus, the COVID-19 vaccine, sorry.
The novel coronavirus.
The novel COVID-19. So, is it novel after a year?
Guess what, COVID-19? I got news for you.
You know how you're newlyweds for a year and then you can't be like newlyweds anymore?
Yeah.
After...
It's like COVID.
Like COVID.
COVID-19.
Okay. So the vaccines, they have to be stored at a really cold temperature, like to be preserved.
You don't think.
What?
That's where this ice cream scoop came from?
No, what I'm going to tell you that I read.
Do you think they got the vaccine from this ice cream scoop?
No, what I'm going to tell you that they read, which is cool. You know the ice cream Dippin' Dots?
The ice cream of the future.
Exactly.
Yes.
So Dippin' Dots are like super cold. Like it's like, I don't know, liquid, whatever.
It definitely is like astronaut ice cream, Dippin' Dots. Hi, Cuckoo. Where have you been?
So Dippin' Dots has these really cold freezers for their ice cream of the future.
Right.
And they're like loaning their...
What?
Yes. They're like going to be like, they're like, we are set up to like store these vaccines for you.
Thanks, Double D.
Right? What I'm saying is like everyone's kind of pitching in a little bit, like, you know, like FedEx or, you know, like,
what has Shaun White offered?
Who's that again?
The famous snowboarder.
What can
the
he?
red something?
Oh, yeah. What can he offer, though? Anything?
Transportation. He can snowboard. He can snowboard the vaccines across.
He can get vaccinated on camera. You know what? And
the
also
flaming. What did they call him? I forget what they fucking called him.
Flaming red or something.
He had a nickname based on his hair, and I can't remember what it is now.
Also, I think Lyft is going to take people for free
to get the vaccine.
Yes.
Well, that's
for
nice.
people who can't, you know, move around and get around. That's what I read. Guys, by the way, vet everything I'm saying only because like I'm like when I'm reading the news online, like I'm just like, you know, zooming through like headlines here, headlines there.
Hey, that's why they call it Zoom.
I'm not a font of real information. I'm a font of partial information.
Yeah.
So just, you know, double check.
Look, all you're doing, you're just trying to spend some tidbits to whet the audience's appetite so they can do their own research as David Gregory told us to do.
I'm saying, but you should anyway, because you know what? You should be skeptical of everything.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Even be skeptical of Dippin' Dots. What are they getting out of this?
Also, you think you're going to like dipping dots, and then you get them, and then you're kind of like, okay, yeah, they're cold. They kind of hurt my teeth a little. I get that. Like, maybe I shouldn't be chewing this because it's hurting. And, like, taste-wise, it's just kind of like pure sugar. There's no, like a good flavor profile.
Dippin' Dots is not great. I've only ever had it at Dodger Stadium. I've never had it anywhere else.
The best time to have Dippin' Dots is on like the hottest day in the universe. Like you're just like, it's so hot. I'm at this whatever park or whatever. And I'm going to have some Dippin' Dots just because like then like it hurts your teeth in a way that like helps your body cool down.
You win Earth.
Like helps your body cool off or whatever. You're like, okay. But in terms of like ice cream in general, no, it's not going to be my go-to.
No. Thanks for coming in, Dippin' Dots. We're going a different way. Honey, would you like to recount any of the presents that I got you? Just pick one.
Okay.
You don't have to.
Okay.
Oh, no, they all sucked?
No. I was just like trying to think what I was willing to share.
Exactly. Most of them were sex toys.
Well, that's just our tradition.
That's our tradition.
No, my favorite thing was my those like prayer candles where you're like in a cylinder of glass and they have like like a saint or something painted on the
religious icon of some sort. Yes.
Yeah. You got me like a Dolly Parton one, and I was so excited because I love Dolly so much. But like also last year, remember I got you guys those prayer candles with your own pictures on them.
Yes.
So that was like fun, like a fun like callback too in a way.
But I got Janie some official Dolly Parton merchandise, and then found this thing on Etsy.
Yeah, like the prayer candle. Yeah.
But please, Dolly, don't shut down Etsy.
Dolly wouldn't do that.
Dolly wouldn't do that.
Like Dolly's are like not into that. You know?
Yeah, man. Dolly's not into that.
Like Dolly's cool. So
I think. Hey, you don't have to white knight for Dolly, man. She's not going to fuck you.
Well, she might.
Yeah, that's a rumor. All right, we should
I'm
wrap it up.
probably not Dolly's type.
Honey, I think that's ridiculous. I think you absolutely would be Dolly's type.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think I'm like Dolly?
Well, I just feel like, I don't know.
People are telling me all the time, you remind me of Dolly Parton. We should come in for a landing. Do you have any recommendations this week?
I Am the Night. When we started talking about Patty Jenkins, I was like, and Jefferson Mays, because I was like, you know, when I watched that miniseries last year, and I was kind of fascinated by it and got into the companion podcast, as I said, like not a lot of people I knew were not watching it. And that bummed me out because I'm like really into true crime, and I thought it was an interesting thing or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say I'm the Night. What are you going to say?
Man, I don't know from last week to this week. I don't know.
Did we recommend the Bee Gees documentary? Because I loved it so
I think we did.
much.
But just in case, the Bee Gees documentary is great. It's amazing and heartbreaking, and, you know, it's fascinating. They were just really interesting guys at an interesting time. And of course, there's like a million hits in it. Like they have so many fantastic songs.
I just appreciated sort of like the humanness of it.
Yeah.
Like the human stuff.
Did I have something?
Yeah, what was your stuff?
Oh,
Yeah,
you know what? I'm going to
into?
recommend it's you can watch it after Christmas while we're still in the season, you know, and we're going to be in the weird week between Christmas and New Year's. A French film called A Christmas Tale, which we first saw in 2008 in New York with our friend Phil.
Oh, yeah. It would have been 2008.
And just watched it again last night. It's a long movie, but it's great. It's
kind of like about a complicated family.
Yes, with a lot of great actors
bad
in
blood
it.
And
and
literally and figuratively.
Yes, and it leads up to
it's kind of Wes Anderson-y, which
in a way, yeah.
Like it's
not that quirky, but it's
but it deals with similar themes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's my recommendation, I think, for this.
I'll say Catherine Deneuve is in it.
Yeah.
Who does not understand the Me Too movement, but whatever.
No French actresses do. I don't know what is the big deal. This is just what life is. Why would you ever complain about it?
I mean, like, whatever. When that whole thing happened, I was a little like, okay, generationally, culturally, okay. And also, like, she was like a huge star, or still is. I'm like, she was such a huge star that she probably only dealt with like the most like minor annoyances. You don't. I mean, like the Me Too.
Not on the way up, maybe though. Do you know what I mean?
That's
she
where
was
young.
Really.
But she was young when she became big.
Yeah, but young people are taken advantage of no matter how much power they have.
I don't know. I just like
young women. I
like
should
had
say.
she like encountered like someone as monstrous and predatorial as Harvey Weinstein, she might not be saying stuff like that.
Maybe, but who knows? Look, honey, you got to believe women.
I gotta believe
If Catherine Deneuve says she went through the same things and it was not a big deal, you gotta believe her.
She was like kind of saying, I think what she was talking about was more cultural, whereas the Me Too movement was a lot more legal.
Yes, it felt very cultural.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know because I don't know where she was coming from. I'm just saying, like when that came across my awareness, I filled in the blanks with that.
Yeah.
Like that it was like a generational cultural.
Same. And look, that's another tidbit. where you can do your own research.
Also, she's just like amazing. Like she's kind of like, I mean, her presence on screen is like, she doesn't have to do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like she's gorgeous.
Oh, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Speaking of presence.
Oh yeah, Viola Davis.
We watched that last week. Viola Davis is like, everybody's great in it. It's a collection of, it's a handful of great actors, and it's very much a filmed play, but in the best way that you can film a play.
Pretty good, yeah.
And
the music is
Chadwick
amazing.
Boseman's last thing on screen,
which is kind of like difficult.
It's very bittersweet
because he's so talented.
But yeah, Viola Davis's presence in this thing is just, it's wild. Like it's palpable. You really feel it.
She's incredible.
Yeah, she is. So there you go. There's some recommendations for you.
I also watched an Orson Welles documentary today, which I kind of liked, but like, I don't know if everyone would like that. It's like a recommendation.
Hey, man, we don't know if anyone's going to like these things we recommend. You got to just throw it out there.
Well, some of the stuff I kind of knew because I had listened to that Peter Bogdanovich podcast, but I don't know, like it was just such an interesting time in Hollywood and such an interesting person. It's about like this, the last movie he made, which in a way, I do kind of want to like discuss it a little bit with people, that and the Paris Hilton documentary.
What is the name of the Orson Welles thing?
It's called They'll Love Me When I'm Dead.
They'll Love Me When I'm Dead. All right. And you'll love us when we're dead to you for a week until we come back. Thank you for listening. Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays. Whatever you celebrate. We really appreciate you listening to us for all this time.
This has been the only good thing of this year, to be honest, is stayfhomekins. Like, I don't know. It feels less lonely when we do this.
It does. It's been great
It's
been great for us to stay connected and to also connect with other people. So we really appreciate it.
Yes, and we're at stayfhomekins on Instagram and Twitter, and we have a Gmail at stayfhomekins@gmail.com.
Yeah. And if you want to buy merch, go to Kinship Goods.
Oh, yes, Kinship Goods. And some people did merch for their Christmas gifts. We got pictures online.
That made me very happy. That was really wonderful.
Even like one of my best friends like sent me a picture. She was like, "Look what I got," and she was in like a stayfhomekins sweatshirt, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
It was really wonderful. So thank you all for that, and we'll be back next week. So we'll see you in the new year.
You know what? I cannot.
Or is it going to be New Year's Eve when we?
Oh. Wait, when is New Year's?
I don't fucking know.
Is it New Year's Day? Or I think it's New Year's Day.
I think it's New Year's Day, but I don't know.
You know what? I cannot fucking wait until 2021.
When everything's going to be...
It's a symbolic... No, it's symbolic, though.
I know,
it's a turning of the page.
It is, absolutely.
It's a turning of the page.
That's all that, yes,
Because
exactly.
better days are ahead, y'all. Those vaccines are coming eventually. It's going to take a while.
We're going to get free Dippin' Dots. All right. We'll be back next week. Until then, stay safe. Stay sane and stay home.